The time by Sagicor Life is
7 a.m. and it's now time for the Morning Watch with Mr. Stokeley Marshall.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you are overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live in the main watch today. Update on the pandemic treaty and international health regulations. And in the second watch, Crime Stop works. Crime Stop works. For our social media question, we ask, what have you done to help stop or solve crimes? Share your responses in our Facebook or YouTube Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes too. 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your comments later on the program, but first, here's I quote.
Yeah, good morning. Today's quote is an island quote, and it's Cuban. It says, "He who speaks much, errs much."
Well, I think the pronunciation is errs, and I think yes, because you if you talk too much, you are likely to make errors. That seems to be the spirit of what that I quote.
Yes,
is that true? Is it that when you speak too much, I think the Bible has a verse in it in relation to when you speak too much, it means that you must also be lying.
Well,
speaking untruths.
Well, the Bible says so, boy.
Leave it right there, my brother. Good morning again, listeners. To those of you who are just joining the Morning Watch, we'll be back after this break.
As our family grows, our home internet needs have grown too.
And now, with Flow's fiber-fast internet and smart Wi-Fi coverage, we're always connected in any room at home.
With Yard Road Plus, get 500 megabits per second of fiber-fast internet, smart Wi-Fi, plus unlimited mobile on the go. All for the special offer of only $6,999 plus GCT a month. Fiber-fast internet and smart Wi-Fi coverage inspired by you. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Entering Tang Make It Big promotion is so easy. From June 19 to September 9, participate for a chance to win over $1 million in cash and prizes, including smartphones, smart TV, and laptop, or be one of 3 monthly winners of $100,000. Just buy any 6 packs of any flavor of Tang. You have 4 ways to enter. www.tangpromotion.com. WhatsApp 876-571-9645. PO Box Mail number 2010 CSO or in-store Dropbox. Grand prize draw September 22. Enter now and win. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting Gaming and Lotteries Act.
My kids are growing up in a rapidly changing world. They amaze me every day with their curiosity and passion for wanting to create a better future for us all. The government is investing in Jamaicans through the STEM scholarship program. Now, my kids have the opportunity to pursue studies in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to get certified as STEM professionals. And yours can too. Find out more at www.mof.gov.jm/scholarships. Sign up for a STEM scholarship today.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&B Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J&M Bank will help you find a way.
Follow Great Sardine, better flavor. Great Sardine for the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody sell it. You all of them nice. Pass the part, me push it.
Great Sardines, follow the better flavor. Ooh la la! I see what I want at Phosphate Store-wide Summer Super Sale. Come get your wires, breakers, LED downlights, solar lamps, LED bulbs, standing fans, and so much more. Shop Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Come get your smart locks, smart bulbs, video doorbells, and video cameras. You can't afford to miss it. Come shop. Come save at Phosphate Super Sale, July 3 to August 31. See you there at Phosphate. Open Sundays.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I am your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the main watch. The topic for this main watch is update on the pandemic treaty and international health regulations. Our guest today is Evangelist Joseph Buckland. He is a lecturer of the Jamaica School of Preaching and Biblical Studies International. Good morning, Evangelist Buckland. Are you with us, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Marshall. Yes, I'm with you this morning.
Getting right into it, sir. Getting right into it, sir. Well, first of all, I have looked at a recent interview of a former U.S. presidential candidate. Her name is Michelle Bachmann. I hope I am pronouncing her surname correctly. She spoke about her recent visit to Switzerland, where she attended a forum or fora where they were looking at various provisions that would govern world health, and she indicated her very strong and deep concern about what is likely to come within the next year. She never said the next 5 years or the next 10 years or even the next 2 years. She indicated within the next year. And you have indicated that you yourself are very familiar with what is likely to come as well, and the reaction of certain countries so far, I believe, sir.
That's right.
Would you like to update us on what's the latest in relation to what is said to be the upcoming global or the pandemic treaty that would apply globally, as well as the international health regulations? Go ahead, Mr. Buckland.
Yes, as you mentioned, Michelle Bachmann, who was a presidential candidate and now the dean of the Regent University School of Government, in May of this year, 2023, attended the World Health Organization meeting in Geneva, Switzerland, and she returned with a serious warning. And that serious warning was that in less than 1 year, the globalists, that is, those people that want to have a one world government, will cement their plans for that one world government. And she said that if there is no miracle, if there is no intervening hand from the Lord, we're looking at less than a year at this point of having this full digital passport enforced and actually out in play for everyone in the world. That is a quotation from Michelle Bachmann. Now, that was said in May of this year. In June of this year, 1 month later, much of the world began barreling headlong into what Bachmann calls, quote, digital gulags. A gulag means prison, but we're not dealing with a literal physical prison, but an electronic prison in which a person is restricted from accessing a supermarket or accessing their bank account. They are kept out of it because they don't have the digital identity to be allowed into that particular business. And we find that in June of this year, long before May of 2024, which is the deadline when the nations will decide whether they will give the World Health Organization control over their country and over their nations, so far as, for example, management of water, food, medicine, treatments, data, media, travel, shipping, crops, grassland, energy, social interactions. So many months before that deadline, when they're supposed to make their vote one way or the other, many countries are giving their sovereignty away, their right to rule themselves, to the WHO. For example, the European Union issued a press release in June of this year that 80 EU or European Union countries have given their sovereignty to the WHO, giving the United Nations agency full administration and control over Europe's, quote, digital passport, end of quote.
Mr.
Also,
Buckland, I know I'm jumping in here, but just asking, sir.
Yeah.
You said that the European Union issued a press release. Do you have the URL for it or the web link for it or whatever link that is, sir, that you can share with us this morning?
Okay, well, I received this information from Matt Staver, who is president of Liberty Counsel.
I see.
A group of lawyers that intervene when citizens of different countries are being taken advantage of by governments or by organizations that are anti-Christian.
Yes, I am familiar with the Liberty. I'm familiar with the Liberty Counsel and what they do. I see, sir. Go ahead.
Yes,
sir.
I received this information on Tuesday, August 8th of this year.
Go ahead, Mr. Buckman.
Yes. So we see that the European Union was not willing to wait until May of 2024. They wanted to go ahead and give their sovereignty away to the WHO. And Michelle Bachmann says they aren't waiting for May of 2024. They're going ahead and implementing global government now. That's a quotation from her. And also I have found that in addition to European Union countries, South Africa was given billions of dollars to give their sovereignty to WHO, and they agreed. Canada and America are also willing to give their sovereignty to WHO. And what we have found is that from 2019 to 2022, the years in which we had what was called the COVID pandemic, the European Union was testing their digital ID and passport. Now, why is the United Nations pushing the digital ID and passport now? Bachmann says that it's a clear signal that the globalists who want a one world government intends the United Nations to become the global world government. Another interesting thing.
1 second, Evangelist, and I have found the Liberty Counsel Action website. I haven't found the exact quote you made, but I'm seeing other information referring to what you are saying. But we are upon a break already, sir. Please, listeners, go absolutely nowhere. We will be right back on the Morning Watch.
When you retire, you're still going to get up.
Rise and shine.
You're still going to get out, ready for the road, because you're retiring from work, not your lifestyle. With a Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme, individuals can save up to 20% of their income towards retirement tax-free. So when you've reached retirement, you'll have more than a rocking chair waiting for you.
I'm ready for my day at the spa.
Start saving for your golden years with a Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme. Apply online at elife.sagicorjamaica.com.
Josie, 5 stars from a combo. Forever your favorite in a one go. What's your belly with flavor? One go. Get one, no 5-star combo. Try the juicy 5-star summer combo. Get any one of your favorite patty. 1 piece of chicken, a soup you like, a bread roll, plus a Coca-Cola, all for $1,100. Josie, 5 stars summer combo. Forever your favorite in a one go. What's your belly with flavor? One go. Juicy and Coca-Cola promotion. Available at participating stores. Conditions apply.
Me pull up at the gas station and the attendant come up.
87 or 90.
I don't know why him think I would put 87 in my new car. But me inside. But when him say
Cash or card?
me say, big man, why would I take my cash and buy gas? I pay for everything with my Sagicor Bank credit card. Grocery, gas, bills. Cause when you use your card, you get your reward. If I pay cash, you are not give me a reward.
Me can wipe your windscreen.
Earn the best rewards ever with Sagicor Bank credit cards. Conditions apply.
Summertime, a time for juice, time for party, time for cut loose. Children play every day, run road trip and not get down here. Choose, when you feel it deep, chill with the friends and the vibes with choose. Feeling that chill when you want family and kick back on a bill. Summertime, a time for juice, time for party, time for cut loose. Choose goodness wherever, whenever. Choose.
Hey my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider the least of a test once a year. Just 15 minutes say your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late, so you're out of time. A progressive future, one little, really long life our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes say your status clear. Really long life our story. Really long life for say you coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
You work hard to make Jamaica a first-class destination. Isn't it time you receive the 5-star benefits? Retire smarter with the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, a portable plan that also provides your family with financial security in case of your untimely death. It's easy, affordable, and accessible online. Retire and relax with the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme. Visit twps.myguardiangroup.com or call 876-927-4105. Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the main watch, and the topic is update on the pandemic treaty and international health regulations. Our guest is Evangelist Joseph Buckland. Mr. Buckland, you were outlining for us quite a number of earth-moving things in relation to upcoming rules and regulations that might govern global health. And you made reference to Liberty Council, from which you got a lot of information, a lot of source information, sir, which I have myself seen, and I'm also seeing where to update listeners, in my reference to Michelle Bachmann earlier, I don't know if it's the same source you're quoting from, sir, but I'm seeing a video entitled The Coming Digital Society, Blessing or Curse, which I located on YouTube at the relevant time. So, Evangelist Buckland, let me just cut to the chase, sir.
Yeah.
This matter, if these regulations, you didn't say whether Jamaica had signed on. I don't think you did. But you made reference to 80 countries, and I think you made reference to the European Union.
Yeah.
So if all the various countries sign on to or become part of whatever the technical term is to the changes in terms of how global health is dealt with, how can that affect a country which is subject to it on a day-to-day basis? Let us say, for example, they declare that there's another pandemic. What is likely to happen, sir?
Okay, well, according to these regulations that are being worked on now by the Intergovernmental Negotiating Body on behalf of the WHO,
yes,
its goals are, for example, to establish a path to revoke the sovereignty of every nation anytime it decides someone's action will, quote, cause damage, end of quote, to others, use religious beliefs as a basis for medical discrimination. I believe that is to prevent that government from getting treatments that have proven successful in the past and having to follow the WHO's prescription or prescriptions for treatment.
So, Mr. Buckland, I know I'm jumping in again.
Yes.
If a pandemic is declared, why would you need to remove the sovereignty of a country to deal with the pandemic? You just deal with the pandemic. I don't understand.
Well, when you remove the sovereignty of a country, it gives that organization greater authority and control to impose upon that nation perhaps certain obligations that it would not otherwise want to follow. And so what happened in the past is that the WHO was not a legislating body. It was a body that gave advice, gave suggestions. Now it wants to move from being merely giving advice to having control over other nations.
So if the WHO, this is a hypothetical. Let us say whether the WHO or an affiliate of it, or some entity which is acting under their authority, if they, for example, say you should take a particular medication, even if that medication has very serious, even deleterious side effects, is it that you would be obliged to take it? Is that what these changes are saying, sir?
That is correct. And we have already seen it in the years of the pandemic, that there were local doctors right here in Jamaica advocating other treatments, and the WHO was pushing certain vaccinations that have proven deadly in certain situations to different people, some of whom I personally know. And we find then that is what the WHO wants, to have the authority to impose upon a nation what people in that local country may think is not for their own good. And I want to say this is not any secret anymore, that the globalists think that the world population right now is too large. So one of their goals is to reduce the world's population. And I believe that this is a method of doing it, because another objective is to rush drugs to market with reduced time for testing and oversight. And if you don't have enough time to test a new medication, it could turn out to be really having serious repercussions for the health of people. And so
that a bit there, you're giving your own opinion, but I'm not saying whether it's correct or incorrect, but I hear what you're saying, Mr. Buckland. Now, sir, I want to raise this point because someone might be told to take a particular medication by a particular institution or body or group, or as the case may be. And you might even hear that it's mandatory. Who knows? But suppose you don't want to take it. You're saying our sovereignty would have been affected in a particular way. Suppose I want to go to court to get an injunction to prevent me being forced from taking this medication. Do what you're looking at there, does it speak to that, or it doesn't mention seeking the intervention of the court of a particular jurisdiction?
Okay, well, I cannot speak to that, but logically, if the WHO has the sovereignty now, and Jamaica, for example, does not have their own right to determine what they should or should not do, then it seems to me that whatever decision made by a local court may be overruled by the higher authority of the WHO. Because one of the objectives of this treaty is to revoke the sovereignty of every nation anytime it decides someone's action will, quote, cause damage, end of quote, to others.
Okay, Mr. Buckland. Okay, thank you for your response there. And I won't comment on the response. You're giving your answer. Now, in terms of digital, one of the things that struck me about the video that I watched where Michelle Bachmann was interviewed, she ran for president in 2012 in the United States of America. One of the things about it is that she seemed to be a little bit distressed that she had to be having her facial image, etc., eyes, etc. In other words, she had to submit herself to scanning, of her face to enter certain countries in Europe. I believe it was. I think she was entering Italy. Any comments on that? Because why is there a connection between the digital infrastructure using biometrics and the WHO? I mean, if the WHO is concerned with health, why can't you just be concerned with health? Why is there seeming to be some sort of merger between digital infrastructure and health? Any comments before we wrap, sir?
Well, that seems to be a connection with NIDS, National Identification System, which makes use of biometric information, whether it's an iris scan or whether it's a facial scan. These digital IDs do make use of biometric information. But there is
to my recollection, I'm not saying you're wrong, sir, but to my recollection, for Jamaica, the facial image would be an ID card, as far as I know. Any comments on that, sir?
Well, I do know that in the original NIDS legislation, that was declared unconstitutional.
I'm talking about the current one. And I wasn't focusing on NIDS per se. I was focusing on the general concept of taking biometrics. Forget about Jamaica for the time being. The general concept of taking biometrics in relation to health. Why the connection?
Well, it's a means of tracking who is who, to be able to identify people, because the idea is that something from your body may not undergo a change. Even if you undergo a change of name, your iris will remain the same, your fingerprint will remain the same. So it's a means of identifying someone who might be trying to be someone else. But there is an important aspect I want to bring out.
Quickly, we have a couple seconds left. Quickly.
Yeah. The Bible teaches us in Revelation chapter 17, verses 12, 13, and 17, that in the time period bringing about the kingdom of the beast or the Antichrist, that all the nations of the earth, all the governments, will give their authority and their power to the beast, and they will rule together with the beast for a short period of time. And that I think this might be happening right now. And so we're not just dealing.
This question is not scripted, Mr. Buckland. Are we in a tribulation?
We are in a tribulation. But I think if we continue on this track, we're going to get into the great tribulation that the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1, speaks about.
Michelle Bachmann mentioned that a lot of this will come upon us within the next 12 months. Any warning for the church, Mr. Buckland, before we close?
Yes, there are churches that believe that the Antichrist and the Great Tribulation took place in the 1st century AD of the Roman Empire. And so they won't be able to understand or make the connection with Revelation once they have that way of interpreting.
Well, I think we're in a new tribulation now, Evangelist. Thank you for your time and for your thoughts, sir. We are now at about 7:30. Listeners, go absolutely nowhere. We will be right back on the morning watch. We have ended the first watch. And thank you, Evangelist.
The time by Gen Bank is
7:30.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
You hear that? What about that? You might think it's just nature you're listening to, when in fact, you're in the office of our farmers, fisher folk, and their families. And the reason they're a little happier working is because they know they are covered for health, dental, optical, critical illness, life insurance, accidental death or dismemberment with Guardian Life's Fisheries and Agriculture Multi-Advantage Plan. Call 888 for Life to find out more about Guardian Life's Farmer Plan today. Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
To be an Olympic champion, you have to train every day. Spikes, gears, bag, forgetting hydration, seatbelt. With my training routine, GKG Online saves me plenty of time. It's the fastest and easiest way to get a quote or your motor insurance coverage. GKG Online, that's it. Yes, really. Click, that's it. It's faster than a 110 hurdle race.
Visit gkgonline.com today.
Let's get up and go. Time to explore.
Montego Bay, Love 101 is bringing I Love Summer to you for our final tour stop on Saturday, August 26th at Harmony Beach Park. Come out early. Gates open at 10 a.m. for rides, food, fun, giveaways, and vibes. Don't miss the Sound Clash at 5 p.m. with Colleen Beckles, Becky Blaze, and Nadine Blair, the Princess of Praise, hosted by DJ Rebirth. After that, rock with Prince Saj. Orville Sutherland. O'Shane Mays. Petra King. Papa San. And more. Concert tickets are only $1,000. Buy your tickets at all Fontana outlets island-wide now, or call or WhatsApp 876-432-5034. I love summer, and we know you do too. See you there.
Okay, class. What is the best way to collect back to school MoneyGram money transfers?
Mimi.
Yes, Abigail.
Alliance, Miss.
Correct.
Pick up a minimum of US $150 at any Alliance agent for a chance to win back-to-school prizes. 3 winners per parish of a $40,000 book voucher, a Samsung tablet, or a $20,000 book voucher.
Tell me where you get the money transfer.
Alliance. A member of Sagicor Group Jamaica. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We will take a look now at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. We have in the Gleaner, more illegal firearms removed from streets of St. James, Westmoreland. And we have in the Loop Jamaica News, Jamaican convicted of carrying loaded gun in U.S. to face immigration judge. We have in the Jamaica Observer a story here by Jason Cross. Prime Minister sounds warning on firebombing culprits, pledges to rebuild 11 houses burnt. There's a photograph here, the Prime Minister embracing someone whose son was shot and killed during the firebombing of houses in Gregory Park, St. Catherine on Saturday. Those and many other stories in our various news sources. Of course, coming up next, we will read for you the feedback from our social media question, which is, what have you done to help stop or solve crimes? If you haven't done so yet, leave your responses on our Facebook or YouTube, Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
Hey, small people, listen up. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. for the Small People Show with Auntie Colleen. Yes, every day we have something educational and fun for you to enjoy. Plus, on a fifth Friday, you get a chance to hail up your friends and community, and you could win a prize too. That's the Small People Show, where we aim to build characters and empower our small people for the future. Remember to tell a friend and stay for the fun. It's the Small People Show with Auntie Colleen on the family station, Love 101.
What is the rapture? When will it happen? And who will be raptured? What are the myths and facts according to the Bible? Tuesday, August 15, on The Rock, join host Bishop Harold Steve Blair and guests Pastor Andrew and Donette Norman as they discuss the topic, the rapture. That's The Rock, Tuesday, August 15 at 10 a.m. right here on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday inside Alive, 1 to 5, August 15. Packed with inspirational stories and island-flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the brain testing mental-sized listeners with edition. Stick around for prayer blast at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 is at the evidence. We share with you another powerhouse testimony boasting about the power of God. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another anointed minister's story. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. August 15 with me, Sarah, and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. Let's join Jakal to see how our friends on Facebook and how our friends on WhatsApp answer today's social media question. What have you done to help stop or solve crimes? Jakal.
All right, so we have nothing on our end from the WhatsApp line, but I do believe that our listeners still have a chance to send in their responses. So again, the question is, what have you done to help stop or solve crimes? So send me your responses and they'll be read live during the show.
You know, I have my own theory as to why we have no responses today, but alas,
Same here, but I'll just leave it alone. Yeah. I'll leave it right there. We're in the
Leave it right there. Leave it right there. Well, welcome back, of course, to those just joining. We cannot, this is a quotation I'm reading now, quote, we cannot allow ourselves to be petrified by fear. Otherwise, the criminals will succeed in their desire to intimidate the rest of us, unquote. This was said by the Minister of Education and Youth, Favour Williams, a few weeks ago, and she's actually perfectly right. But we don't have to try to solve crime alone. There are tools that we can use to include Crime Stop. Crime Stop. We know what Crime Stop is, or many of us do. Is there, well, put it this way. It's a channel that citizens can use to provide information anonymously in an effort to solve crimes. Are people using them? If so, why? If not, why not? We have as our guest today to look at this the manager of Crime Stop, Cherise Bruce Douglas. Cherise Bruce Douglas, good day. How are you?
Good, and you?
Mrs. Douglas.
Are you hearing me?
Oh, hearing you now loud and clear. Are you well this
Great.
morning?
Good morning. I'm good, and you?
I'm well. Now tell us, what is Crime Stop? Who conceptualized it? Why did they conceptualize it? What is Crime Stop?
Sure. So, you pretty much summarized what we do. Crime Stop is a not-for-profit charitable organization that provides that anonymous channel or conduit for citizens to share information, as I said, anonymously on all forms of criminal activity. We were actually started in 1989 by the private sector organization of Jamaica. We mirrored a concept back in the United States where persons have an anonymous channel to give information. So we took that concept and adopted it here because we know there's an issue with trust among police and citizens. So why not have that bridge that closes that gap between citizen and police, where citizens can share information without telling us who they are, and we then share that information with the police for them to action it. So we've been around for 34 years, going on strong, never had a single source compromise, and we will continue to push that narrative that Crime Stop is in fact here to help. We have been here trying to mitigate crime, trying to reduce crime in every possible way, and we've been successful thus far. Hello, are you hearing me?
Well, you know, we are grateful. We are grateful for your efforts. We are very grateful for your efforts, and we're not trying to say that Crime Stop must solve all crime. That's not really your job. As you indicated, it is an avenue for people to provide information anonymously. I think the concern many people might be having is what is the follow-up after that? Because you might provide information anonymously, but is it leading to a reduction, a major reduction in crime? There are so many crimes taking place, so many. You know, you would have, you are probably aware of the recent firebombing of the homes in Gregory Park, St. Catherine.
Definitely.
And somebody might have information. Yes, they might contact Crime Stop and inform you anonymously. I don't know if anyone has, because it would be anonymous. But then after that, what hope is there for the person on the other end? You know, the person who might have witnessed something. They might have seen somebody murdered. They might have seen someone severely injured. You know, any comments? Because I know you're doing a job, but at the end of the day, what happens for people on the ground?
Right.
Douglas.
Right. That's a very good question. So for me to answer that question, I need to outline how we work. So when citizens have information on a particular crime, for instance, what happened down in Gregory Park, we would encourage persons to call our toll-free tip line. So we are open 24/7, 7 days a week. So we know persons are very scared or fear that someone might overhear them. So at any time that they feel safe, they feel secure, they may call our tip line or even go on our website.
Cherise Bruce Douglas, I know you're in the middle of a thought, but only because of time we're upon a break.
Mhm.
Hold the thought.
Sure.
Listeners, we'll be right back at the Morning Watch.
sardine for the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody
Great
sell it.
sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is 7:45.
Touching lives every day, so many different ways, a part of all you do. Sagicor will make you feel secure, reaching out for more, we'll always see you through. Reach for more, whatever you're dreaming, whatever your goals, will help you achieve them. You're never alone. Taking care of today's needs, take care of tomorrow's dreams. Every day helping you succeed, that's what Sagicor means. Today's needs, tomorrow's dreams. Sagicor.
Strawberry, chocolate snackables full of flavor. It depend the list, one leap of flavors. Butter kiss can't miss. From 19 old and butter kiss is amazingly good, great taste to savor. Butter make you slide into flavor, and that's why everybody pray for butter kiss forever and ever. The original cookie is butter kiss. Give me butter kiss. Give me butter kiss sandwich biscuit and cookie. Give me butter kiss. Butter cookies a long time favorite, never miss. Give me butter kiss. Give me butter turkeys.
As our family grows, our home internet needs have grown too.
And now, with Flow's fiber-fast internet and smart Wi-Fi coverage, we're always connected in any room at home.
With Yadon Road Plus, get 500 megabits per second of fiber-fast internet, smart Wi-Fi, plus unlimited mobile on the go. All for the special offer of only $6,999 plus GCT a month. Fiber-fast internet and smart Wi-Fi coverage inspired by you. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokeley Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dallin Toussaint. Every Wednesday, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Chris and Charles. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the second watch. And the topic for this second watch is Crime Stop Works. Our guest is Cherise Bruce Douglas. She is the manager of Crime Stop. Just before the break, I had posed a question to her in relation to, yes, persons may call anonymously and give even very valuable information, but at the end of the day, are the crimes being solved? Whether they are solved or not are really no fault per se of Crime Stop, but on the other end, what really happens to this information? Is it resulting in the solving of crimes? Are persons being taken to court? Are persons being convicted, having regard to them giving that very precious, valuable, important information? Cherise Bruce Douglas, you're outlining for us how Crime Stop works. Please continue.
Sure. As I was mentioning, we encourage citizens to call our 311 tip line, and as we're open 24/7, persons can feel free to call at any time they feel comfortable, or go on our website and submit a tip electronically. That doesn't leave a trace on your device. When you give us that information, we give you a unique code number. So we encourage persons to call back and quoting that code number, because we can't reach out to you to give you a feedback on that information. The source would have to call us and quote that file number for us to give us a feedback, for us to give them a feedback of that information. What we do with that information is we pass it on to the relevant law enforcement. So depending on where the crime has been, where the crime occurred, we'll pass it on to a particular division, a particular department in the JCF for actioning. And once that action leads to an arrest and charge or recovery of a stolen property or a seizure of illegal weapons or narcotics, our sources are eligible for reward. Since the start of the year, we've had 705 tips, and that is impressive. Remember, we're not for profit. We're just an anonymous channel for persons to share information. To give further concept or give further picture to our successes last year, we've received 1,148 tips. That is a 68% jump in tips that we received the year before. Leading from those tips, we've had several successes, including seizures of over 49 illegal firearms last year. This year, we are at 36 seizures of illegal firearms. We've also seized or assisted in the seizure of several illegal weaponry. If I get into details, it might give off some ideas to where we collected that information and action the information. And of course, we want to be as general as possible because we don't want that information to lead back to our sources. So you will see several successes in the TV, on television, in the news, of an arrest and charge of an arrest and charge of a wanted person, or a seizure of an illegal firearm. There is a very high possibility that that information came from Crime Stop, but Crime Stop will not openly say that information comes from us, because we do not want it to track back to our sources in any possible way. Because once our sources are compromised, of course, our integrity is at question. So we want to ensure citizens that no way that the information leads back to you. And as I was mentioning, since the start of the year, we've had several successes coming from 705 tips that we've received between January and July of this year. Those successes also include, as I mentioned, several arrests, 30 arrests to be exact, several of them in relation to wanted persons that you see the JCF advertise on Wanted Wednesdays. And I must also mention that even though we offer a reward for every success, not everybody is interested in a reward. So let's put it in terms of numbers. Of our 705 tips that we receive, only 4% of our tipsters have requested a reward, and that reward amounting year to date $6.6 million that we've paid out to our sources. And sorry, go ahead.
I said I see.
Mm-hmm.
And these rewards are rewards which the family of the victim puts up, or is it a reward that is put up by the PSOJ, or a combination? How is that reward sourced before
Thank
it's
you
paid?
for asking that. Not a lot of people ask that question. So the majority of the rewards are put up by Crime Stop, not the PSOJ. Family members, there are instances where family members would offer to add on to the reward. So Crime Stop itself offers a reward for every success that we have, not just illegal firearms, not just arrest and charge, any success, any recovery. We do have a partnership with the Ministry of National Security, where we pay rewards on their behalf with regards to the seizures of illegal firearms, with regards to the arrest of wanted persons. But all other successes being narcotics, seizures of narcotics, a recovery of a stolen property, like for instance, a stolen motor vehicle, a recovery of any stolen items, theft, burglary, any successes, that is paid through Crime Stop Fund. And Crime Stop Fund is really furnished through us doing very hard fundraising. So we have corporate sponsors who come on board yearly to help support Crime Stop. And of course, we have our fundraising. We do fundraising through project activities, grant-funded project activities as well.
Interesting. And is there a basic or a base reward that you offer for various tiers of solved crimes? And then persons can add on to that. Is there a base?
Sure. So, for instance, we have every month we feature an unsolved crime where we for as it mentioned for that month we focus on a crime that was committed more often than not a murder, and we ask persons to give information leading to an arrest and charge. Crime Stop in and of itself puts up a $250,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and charge. And there are instances where victims' families or even citizens just hear of a crime and want to assist, and they will add on to that. There is no limit there for them for whether or not they want to add. If they have $10,000 and they want to add, we'll accept it. If they have another 250 that they want to match, we'll accept it. Because we have had instances where rewards go up to $1 million and we don't get any information. And then we have instances where it's just $250,000 and we do get information. So there is that misconception that the higher the reward is, the higher the success. Not necessarily, because we have had instances where we do not advertise any reward, yet still we get information, and it leads to a reward. So we want persons to know that regardless of any success, we do pay that reward. And if persons have instances where a family member was murdered or even a family member is missing and they want to offer a reward through Crime Stop, all they have to do is call us at 311 and ask for that assistance. They don't necessarily need to put a reward, because you do have persons who ask, do I have to? They really don't have to. All they need is to give us that consent and we will be able to assist them by offering a reward for information.
Can you give us the number for Crime Stop again?
Sure.
That person call to give information. Give the number again, please.
It's 311.
Just 311.
Just 311.
No 876.
No 876. It's totally free. We're open 24/7. If you do want to offer a reward, you just ask for the person who you're speaking with right now, Mrs. Douglas. But yes, our number is 311, completely free, 24/7.
But a lot of people are using smartphones, or some people use banger phones to make these calls, what we call banger phones.
Yes.
The ones that don't have the internet hooked up to them.
Yes.
They dial 311 from those phones as well.
Yes. Line, Digicel, it doesn't matter. It's totally free. And as I mentioned, you do have persons who would not be willing to call because of perhaps their surroundings, their environment. They don't want persons to hear. So we encourage them to go on our website at crimestop.org and click submit a tip, and you can submit that tip electronically. Just remember to fill in as much information as you possibly can, because that once you submit that tip, we are not able to get back to you for any follow-up questions. So we just ask persons to just fill out that template with as much detail as possible, because that once you close that tip doesn't lead back to you.
Mrs. Douglas, I think we're totally out of time.
Okay.
Unless there's a final word you want to leave with us, very quickly.
I just want to continue to encourage our citizens to use our Avenue 311. We know that there are a lot of fear out there, and persons do ask the question, how can I help without being known? Just want to remind persons 311 actually works, and we are here to assist in reduction of crime in the communities. So just let us know and we will action the information for you.
Mrs. Douglas, thank you for your time and for your thoughts. Thank you so much for all the information you have given to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we look at other topical and controversial issues. Visit the Love 101 FM YouTube channel and Facebook page for this and all other Love 101 FM programs. Listen to the Morning Watch on our Love 101 app. Download it today and stay connected to the family station, Love 101 FM, the #1 gospel station in Jamaica. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and to our guests. I am Stokeley Marshall, handing back to Love in the Morning with Chakal.